Yo, what's up? It's Daikin here coming at you live from Twitch/DaikinXDan. We are over here grinding some rank inside of Street Fighter 6, but you guys not here for that. You guys are here for the name of the title, the strongest mechanic inside of Street Fighter 6. So this game has a lot of fresh mechanics coming at it from the new drive gauge, and there's one mechanic that is standing out above the rest that definitely got people talking about it. Let's go and talk about the mechanic. All right, so in Street Fighter 6 you have the drive gauge. The drive gauge is basically going to be the one sole gauge that's going to basically utilize all the mechanics inside the game outside of just using your super. So of course you got the parry system, which drains your meter over time, and then you can dash cancel for an additional bar. You know, you have your EXs, which take 2 bars to do, just like that. And then of course you have the actual dash off buttons and stuff like that. So you could do this, and when you dash it takes 3 bars. There's also another mechanic that a lot of people aren't utilizing, which I definitely want to make a video on, which is this right here, which costs 2 bars to like basically get someone off of you during pressure. And I think there's a couple of reasons why you probably aren't seeing this mechanic actually used that much, but the mechanic we're basically going to be talking about today is drive impact. So this one takes 1 bar and is this move where it puts like the little graffiti on the character, and then they sort of go forward and it does an attack like that. Now it really don't look like that much special, you know, especially just on basic attack like that. Doesn't really look crazy, but we're about to get into exactly why this mechanic is so good, why people are talking about this mechanic so much, and what you can do about it, and of course why I don't think it will be super strong over time, but why it's really good early on in the game. So drive impact is utilized by pressing your heavy punch and heavy kick at the same time. This is how you do it. On block it sort of reels the opponent back like this. It's basically like -3 on block, so pretty much you're not going to get punished because the fastest normals in the game are 4 frames. And this mechanic does some pretty interesting things. So as you saw on regular hit, it actually just knocks them back. It doesn't really do anything. On block, it sort of pushes them back. But when you are near the corner, this mechanic becomes very deadly because it gives a guaranteed wall splat on block, which means you get a guaranteed follow-up combo. So you can basically get a free combo opportunity, which can, you know, definitely potentially kill your your enemy, especially if you got like a level 3 super in that. You can get a lot of damage from this one opportunity. Like you get like, you know, almost like 40 to 50% depending on the damage that your character could deal out and stuff like that. You get pretty crazy. So the fact is everybody has access to a tool like this that's basically, you know, an unguardable attack. Once you guard it, it basically just stops you completely. It is very strong. Now another reason why this attack is so strong is because how it works versus normal. So when you actually get a punish counter, it actually puts them in a crumple state just like that. So because of this, you actually just get a full on confirmed mid screen as well. This is going to be very good in situations where you're playing the neutral route like this. So say you're like out here just playing the neutral route, and you know the opponent is going to try to throw out a button. You kind of just could beat it by just doing this. So this essentially beats people that are out here trying to counter pull, right, or trying to stop your approach, you know, because dashes in Street Fighter can be sometimes hard to react to. So people sometimes put out buttons to like try to catch you into running into their buttons. That's why you see like people like jab checking and stuff like that. But when they're doing that and they're playing this type of neutral inside of this with a move like this in the game, is a lot more devastating because they can just get hit just like that. Now what can you actually do about this? So if you know a person is going to drive gauge, you can simply drive gauge them back. And this is going to be something that you're going to see a lot. So if a person is doing it and you press a button, you can basically cancel the button into drive gauge. This is also what makes the mechanic so strong, right? It's because in the middle of your block strings, as long as the block string button that you're pressing is something that's cancelable, you can cancel directly into it. So it makes it very scary, and the opponent has to just know that you're going to go into that and not a special move, and then they have to react to that accordingly to basically drive impact back. So basically, you know, if you're pressing a button in neutral and you see that they're doing it, just press it back and then you'll win that exchange forward. However, this is where the mechanic gets a little bit scary. Notice that I said buttons that can be canceled. So not every button that you press is going to be something that can be canceled. Like say, take this crouching medium kick from actual Kimberly. Kimberly cannot cancel this button, so therefore she can't do anything. So when the situation actually comes up, she basically just gets bodied by when she actually presses a button like this. Now there's a chance you can actually recover in time to actually make it to where you can actually get it out like that, but it depends on how early you press the button, right? So if you press the button and they are already doing it, then you kind of just are stuck and there's nothing you can really do about it, and it's a guaranteed hit for them. So it basically dictates how people play the neutral and what buttons they're going to play the neutral with because of a mechanic like that. Now you can probably think, yeah, you can parry it, but with the frame data, if you actually look, parry, it makes it only -3, right? So being that it's only -3 and the fastest buttons in the game being 4 frames, you don't actually get anything off of that. So it's not really a good option. Other options you could go to are going to be like jumping it if you know a person is going to like spam it in neutral. But there's just all the good times that opponents will try to use it that makes it very scary. You know, if they're just doing pressure and then like they sort of put a delay in their pressure and then just do something like that. That's a very scary situation, right? Like you think it's your return and all of a sudden you try to just jab check or something and all of a sudden you die forward. If you're not ready for it, this could definitely be a very devastating situation for you, because obviously it just does a lot of damage, and if you weren't ready to do it back, you just kind of die. So it's a mechanic that definitely dictates the early meta of the game. You're definitely going to see it a lot. A lot of people have been utilizing it, especially in like just all ranks, right? It's just something you see in all ranks of the game at the moment. But like I said, I think it's something that's definitely going to fall off over time, just simply because it is something that is definitely reactable, and there's definitely a lot of answers to it. For example, you can definitely throw it. So most of them go pretty far, and because they go so far, you can kind of just throw them from pretty decent far away. So like if we have him do it from like here, see from over there, just definitely throw it like because a lot of characters come in when they do it a little bit. So you can throw from pretty far away on reaction. Even if you're like walking back, you're like walking back and all of a sudden they just do it. So you can just kind of throw it and throw them into the corner or something like that. So there's definitely some answers to it. Like I said, it's not going to be as strong as people may think is going to be, but it's definitely a nauseous mechanic to deal with. Even if it's not going to be the strongest, it's definitely an annoying mechanic to actually just get past, especially early on in the game when people are just trying to figure out the systems and stuff like that. All right, so now that we actually talked about drive impact and what makes it so strong, let's actually showcase it in some matches. You know, of course, this being 1 bar rather than the other options being 2 and 3 bars. Let's demonstrate how strong of a mechanic this can actually be inside some matches. And some Kimberly here. So Kimberly is the character I've been playing inside the beta. Like I said, the mechanic's very strong in neutral and stuff like that. So he's over here trying to counter poke, bam, just like that, right? And I get a full confirm into a knockdown. Like you see how strong this mechanic is already. He's in the corner, don't even have to finish my combo, bam. Okay, like it's such a impressive mechanic, right? So he's kind of scared of it. He's trying to do it himself. Look, see, so he didn't actually get the counter hit, so it didn't really matter. So playing a neutral out, and it really makes people scared, right? Like they have to always be thinking about the mechanic and like how it works. So look, he's pressed it as soon as he waked up. Like you see it a lot, right? Bam, he tried to mash. I put a delay in my string and all of a sudden, damn, I just did it, right? So it's super strong, as you can see. And it's going to catch a lot of people off guard before they actually start trying to implement just different strategies to actually beat a mechanic like this. So there he goes, trying to use it. Not a bad attempt. Got him. Get a confirm off of it. Go for a throw. So now we can start just trying to throw loop. He's jumping. So now he's a little scared. Got him with it. And all you can see now, here we go, right? Here comes the party starter, right? Like you can see how strong a mechanic this actually becomes over time. It's so crazy, right? Just the fact that it's always something you have to think about. So you can't just try to hold up as like the answer, because then you'll just get thrown. I mean, not thrown, but you'll get hit by meaties, and you can try to you know, try to mash out of certain other options and stuff, but then the throw loops can just happen. Like it just gets absolutely crazy. All right, there goes the DP. All right, so there you go, doing pressure. Oh, don't do that. All right, and there we go with the delay again with it, right? Super strong mechanic. There he goes trying to use it, so I just throw him. And if you try to just wake up with it, it doesn't really work because you can just throw it, right? So you have to be strategic on like when you try to use it on like your wake up and stuff like that. You can't just mash it out trying to utilize. You got to be very strategic with like how you deal with it almost. All right, so we're playing a neutral route. Go underneath that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Accident. Okay, it's okay. We got this. All right, starting off the pressure. Here we go, here we go. All right, so he EXDP out. He don't want anything to do with it. Another EXDPR. He's spinning all his meter. And yeah, so once again, you can just toss it out in neutral too, just because it's a good thing to beat counter pulls. Like you see how he's pressing buttons in neutral trying to hit me, and I'm just sort of walking back. You kind of just press it. So once again, just doing it. That was a good jump by him. That is, like I said, one of the answers for sure. All right, random DP. All right, so we're playing a neutral route. Press it. Press it again. Like, do you see how good this mechanic can be? And look how far it wall splats. Like, it wall splats from so far. He tried to do it, so I'm gonna toss him over there. He EXDPs out. Got him again. Like, you see, I'm just kind of I know I'm basically just doing it more than what I'll actually utilize it for, just to demonstrate like how strong of a tool it actually is. Like, I use it, but I don't use it this much. But I just want to showcase to you guys how strong it actually is, and like how many mind games you can actually play with it. It gets ridiculous of how crazy this mechanic. Like, I was very frustrated when I first saw it, and like I said, over time, you just get used to it. All right, so he threw me in the corner. It's okay. We know what mechanic we have. Just match it in his block during his block string. Got it out. All right, he's going to probably do something crazy. Yep, so he tried to do it back. Like I said, it kind of, you can't always react to it. Like, it's not too fast. Like, to what, like 28 frames or something. You can't always react to it. 20, I think it's 26 actually. So it's pretty reactable, but like when you put on the mental stack of like all the other options that you got to deal with inside the game, it becomes kind of crazy. So yeah, it definitely becomes a very strong mechanic. Anyway, that is it for this one, guys. I wanted to showcase the drive impact inside of Street Fighter 6. I wonder if they're going to change it. There's definitely some changes they could definitely do to it if they want to. For example, they can make it to where it's a little bit more negative on a parry, so parry could be more of a better option for it. They can make it to where it actually costs 2 bars, so it's in line with all the other options. Or they can make it to where it actually doesn't do the wall slam until like you're probably like exhausted or something like that, so people don't really, you know, fear for their life versus mechanic in the corner, because it could definitely be something, especially at the lower levels. It definitely be a very, very super strong mechanic, especially at the lower levels when you're like new to fighting games and you're first picking this up and you see a mechanic like that. It can be very annoying to deal with when you don't know the options and how to deal with it properly. But anyway, let me know down in the comments below how you guys feel about drive impact now that I explained it here, especially if you haven't played the beta for yourself. Let me know down in the comments below. And of course, if you have played the beta, how have you been feeling about the mechanic itself? Let me know all down in the comments below. Anyway, if you like anything you had to say, drop me a like, I greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, follow my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn notifications so you know the next video goes live. As always, my name is Daikin, and I'll see you next time. Signing out.